Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. I haven't posted a video in a while. I sort of took January off this year, which is 2023. But we're back now. And the first job of the year is I need to make a little headphone stand or a little headphone hanger from my desk where I edit the videos. These are the headphones and they're sort of good ones. They're Sony XM4s or 1000 XM4s. They're good ones. So they live on the desk and they're sort of providing clutter, and I'll stick a picture of the desk up there. And as you can see, trying to maintain a sort of a clutter-free desk is sort of a challenge with loads of bits of equipment and stuff on it. So that's what we'll do, is make up a little headphone hanging thing. Now you could ask, why would I go out and buy one of these for maybe 10 euros or thereabouts? But my answer to that would be similar enough to another YouTube channel which is called Learn to DIY. I'll stick a link down in the description. And he had t-shirts made up, and one of them struck a chord at me, which was why buy it when you could DIY it at 3 times the cost and time. So this is one of those jobs. So what I have here, I have an old toilet roll holder stand that lived in the bathroom. I have a piece of steel, 40mm box. I have a little rubber leg which has a 10mm bolt or threaded section to it. So what I'll do is cut this off here, cut a 40mm section out of this box, cut out one wall of it, so that'll sort of slip over the table. The table itself is 28.75mm thick, and the internal diameter here is 34, which makes sense given that it's 40mm box with a 3mm wall on it. So 2 by 3mm is 6mm from the 40 gives us 34. So what I have then is little felt furniture pads. They're sitting inside the drawer. One of those will go on the inside there, and a smaller one, if I can find it, will go on top of the little bolt where it clamps, or maybe even a tiny little bit of wood. We'll see how that goes. So what I'll do, cut a 40mm square out of this, cut off one of the walls, clean it up, round it off, drill and thread a 10mm hole to take our little tightening mechanism. And then I need to attach this to that 40mm section. Not 100% sure how I'm going to do that yet. This stuff is particularly light. It's just sort of the lightest of material that you could imagine. So I'm not 100% sure whether it would sort of react well to welding. That could sort of melt in front of me as I try and weld it. So what I might do is see what the internal dimension of that is. That's a 13mm little bit of bar or whatever, or a little bit of tube, more to the point. See what the internal diameter is there, and maybe find a bit of round stock or something like that I could weld onto here. Grind it down so it's nice and neat, and then glue this to that. In fairness, there's only about 100 grams or 200 grams at most of headphone weight, so maybe a few cables and other bits and pieces that I can attach to it. So this doesn't need to be of structural strength by any means. Right, away we go, and we'll see how we get on. Now here we are with a more or less finished product. Turned out quite well, other than the fact that I managed to get glue over myself, the dog, the bench, you name it. I have my little felt mats in there, and we give it another bit of a clean up and a tidy up before we attach it to the desk. But overall turned out quite well. My little screw clamp is fixed in there. It works quite well. Again, with a little bit of felt on it just to stop any marks on the desk. So we'll stick this in the desk now. We'll take a photograph and see how it turns out. If you have any questions or anything like that now, stick them in the comments down below. And just as an aside, again, I could have gone out and bought this for a tenner if I'd come across one, but there's definitely more satisfaction in making it. However, two things to note there. Number one, you're probably going to make a better quality one yourself. That'd be number one. But number two then, if you broke a drill bit or a tap or broke a blade, or you know, some piece of a tooth on a blade of a saw or something like that, this could actually turn out to be a very expensive piece. Now luckily enough, other than the glue mishap, which is everywhere, turned out quite well and I'm quite pleased with it. So anyway, that's about it for now. See you in the next video.